We've got some very interesting news to talk about in this video because overnight Activision has taken one of their Call of Duty games completely offline due to some really serious issues, and this is something that I don't think I've ever seen Activision do before. We're going to discuss why, discuss what game's been taken offline, and also discuss why this is a very serious issue to make as many of you aware of this as possible, but also make Activision aware that it's not just one COD game that has this issue, and that I urge as many of you as possible watching this video to leave comments and to click the thumbs up so that Activision can see this. Jumping straight into things, out of absolutely nowhere, in the early hours of this morning, the COD Updates Twitter posted that Call of Duty World War II on PC Microsoft Store was brought offline while we investigate reports of an issue. And I say an issue in speech marks because saying the words an issue is a little bit of an understatement. If you aren't aware, earlier this week, World War II came to Game Pass on PC and console. The very first classic, if you will, OG Call of Duty before Modern Warfare 2019 that's on the Game Pass service. We've been waiting years for old Call of Duty games to finally make it on Game Pass. This is the very first one, and it was extremely exciting. There was a massive resurgence of players. Even on console right now for Xbox, there is tons of people playing World War II and enjoying it, but it was also brought to PC. Now, I saw this coming a mile off, but if any of you have been watching this channel for many years, we've covered relentlessly the security issues that are around certain Call of Duty games on PC. Specifically on my channel for Black Ops 3, all of the old Call of Duty games have some very serious problems that allow for a ton of potentially dangerous exploits to be ran. As players flocked to start playing Call of Duty World War II on PC Microsoft Store, the more people ran into hackers. And this isn't just any old type of hackers, but the most dangerous type of hackers that can remotely execute code on your PC, which can include stealing your PC's data, installing viruses and malware, and running malicious code on people's PC, all through Call of Duty World War II. Because Call of Duty World War II is now free and people are running into these issues, this became a much more mainstream, widespread problem than it has been for many, many years, with many clips of people playing multiplayer on World War II and getting RCE exploits ran on their PC, such as pop-ups opening, wallpapers being changed, inappropriate tabs being opened, etc. And that likely only just scratches the surface on what people are able to do with these RCE exploits. Clearly, this is a serious problem and makes the game an actual security risk to play. Sentiment that I'm sure Microsoft are not happy to see, seeing as they've only just released this game on their service. So following all these issues, it seems that Activision has taken the game completely offline on the PC Microsoft Store while they investigate reports of an issue. Well, there is more than just an issue. This is a serious problem. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I was not surprised to see this because every Call of Duty game on Steam from Modern Warfare 2 2009 all the way up to World War II 2017 all have these problems, because it seems that this is an issue that is deep rooted in the code of the game's engine. And I really want every single one of you to drop this video a thumbs up, get as many thumbs up on this as possible so that Activision can see it, because whilst this is a very good first step to see them actually take action here to try and fix this on the PC Microsoft Store version of World War II, these problems exist on every old Call of Duty game. Every single old Call of Duty game is a danger to play, and that's why we have clients like Plutonium as safe alternatives to enjoy all these old classic games without the risk of having these execution exploits ran on people's PCs whilst they're just enjoying old classic Call of Duty games. We covered for years on the channel that Black Ops 3 had some extremely dangerous remote code execution exploits that were so bad that enough noise was made that Activision and Treyarch actually had to patch them out in the Black Ops 3 PC version a few years ago. And thankfully, those issues, as far as I'm aware, are gone for good. There are still hackers on the game that can boot you offline, grab your IP address, mess with your game and all sorts. And the most dangerous exploits of all being remote code execution isn't possible on Black Ops 3, but it is still possible on classic games like Modern Warfare 2 from 2009, Modern Warfare 3 from 2011, Black Ops 2, and every other game besides Black Ops 3 as far as I'm aware. These problems have existed for many years, and so it's extremely frustrating to see Activision and Microsoft release World War II on the PC Microsoft Store without realizing that these issues still exist on the live Steam PC version of the game, so why wouldn't they exist on the Microsoft Store version? It was just something that that I could see coming. A lot of people that are actively aware of issues on COD on PC could see coming, but it's just really frustrating for those that haven't played Call of Duty in years, don't keep up with the day in and day outs of the security of these games, and just, you know, wanted to boot up an old Call of Duty game and enjoy it without realizing that there is so many security issues with these old games. There is no doubt that in the future we're going to be getting even more Call of Duty games added to the Game Pass catalog over time, but I'm just so concerned that all these older games are still going to have the same exploits that won't be patched before they join the Game Pass service. Like, it blows my mind that this was not thought about before World War II was added to Game Pass, because it is such a big security risk. And what makes this all the more frustrating is that all of the older Call of Duty games that I mentioned are still being sold on Steam for full price, which is crazy. There's no warnings of any of the issues that plague those games. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know for a fact that some Call of Duty games that are being sold on the Microsoft Store, like COD 4 as an example, are several versions behind the version that's on Steam. And I feel that World War II also is several versions behind the Steam version, which means that it's missing crucial updates and security that even the Steam version does have. I have no doubts that these versions that were created for the Microsoft Store are different to what we're seeing on Steam. You would think that them releasing only recently on the PC Microsoft Store, they should be brand new versions which have brand new security updates to make them safe to play. It's such a shame that this scenario had to happen for Microsoft and Activision to realize that these games are super unsafe, but I hope that whatever happens with the fixes that they're planning to do for this game is something that going forwards are going to be fixed for future COD games that get put on Game Pass, because this just can't keep happening. But I worry that these issues just cannot be fixed inherently because it's an issue that affects the actual engine that the game is made on, and that's where the exploits lie. So I don't know how plausible it's going to be to completely fix every single issue when the issue is the actual engine itself. But as of right now, the Call of Duty Updates Twitter has not posted an ETA on when they expect World War II servers to go online again for PC Microsoft Store. But if you are someone playing on Xbox, you do not need to worry about this because it doesn't affect console. Now, that's not me saying you might not run into people with infinite ammo and no clip and wall hacks and aimbot and all that, but in terms of these serious issues, it doesn't seem that that is possible on console. This whole situation is just super frustrating because the only alternative for PC players is to play it on clients, but as we've seen over the last few years, Activision has sent a lot of cease and desist to some of those clients, which is extremely frustrating because it gives PC players limited options on actually playing the game safely. If it wasn't for the dedicated PC COD community giving us alternative options to play these games safely, there would be no option to play the game safely, and we just wouldn't be able to play them full stop. As I've said before, these issues have been in old Call of Duty games for so many years now, and only now where the World War II Game Pass version is having this happen to so many people, where it's such mainstream news that it's finally getting a spotlight shone on it. But if there's anything that we can take from this video, it's that, one, to spread the news about World War II being unsafe to play on PC right now, and to keep up to date with what's going on with that with regards to what fixes they do to make the game safe, but also to make Activision aware that all these older games are still unsafe, and all people want is to enjoy playing these games safely without the risk of their computer being hacked. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section about this. Thank you for watching. If you choose to support it by dropping a thumbs up or a comment, and I'll catch you for another video very soon.